Off the Ropes, your online wrestling talk show. I am your host, Angel. And right now, right next to me is the new co-host, The Pebble.
How you doing, folks?
Well, you know, it's actually pretty cool to have you here. We have Wrestling Fanatic HD. A lot of people know he is moving to Texas. He wants to go play with the Cactuses and maybe scratch his ass. I'm not too sure why he's going down there, but he had to go. We're going to miss him here, but I'm glad that you actually stood from that side of the camera to this side of the camera. Some background on your history. First, he's been doing tons and tons of work for the museum behind the camera, which I know everybody at Positive Official Wrestling Team thanks you for that. But you've been a manager on the indie scene for many, many years. You have managed some of the greats. Haven't managed me yet, which if you manage me, you'll be in a freaking like main eventing every night of the week. But you do know what you bring to the table. You're smart. You've got the knowledge of the business. So I think you're going to add a lot of good things to the show. You're a good guy. You're a funny guy. And you always look up to me, so it works.
I thank you, Angel.
All right. Well, each and every week we do a contest here, folks. We did have last week off. There's a lot of things shifting around as we try to get things, in order for the new coming weeks of the show and stuff. This is your, rookie show. You're going to pop the cherry this week, So in coming weeks, this guy's a funny bastard, so it will be fun. Yeah, I know we're G-rated. Oops, sue me. But anyway, we do a contest each and every week. This week here, we're not going to do the contest just because we're doing a lot of reamping, getting a lot of things for the museum, setting up things for the future for where we're going to be for on the ropes, off the ropes, on the road, and so forth. So the contest we had 2 weeks ago was Hacksaw Jim Duggan was a special picture. We sent out a 2x4 to Brian from North Dakota. I believe you should have received it already. UPS said that you did receive the package, so we hope you enjoy your 2x4 that's signed by Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And again, the contest will return again next week. Great prizes, and there's a pretty interesting picture for next week. It's all right, man. Don't worry. I understand. You're sitting next to the icon. It's like, oh my God, my dreams are coming true. If I can ever sign you so I can manage you, man, my career will skyrocket even higher than I understand it. Don't worry about the jerk, the guy that shakes the boot. I got it.
Oh, good.
Okay, here we go, folks. Let's talk about some Raw action.
Yeah. I have a match here that Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes.
You know what? That kicked off Raw 2 nights ago. I personally liked it. It told a great story in the ring. You have your legacy. They came back from the drop kicks they hit was perfect. The RKO off the second rope. I think the match was perfect. Randy Orton going over told a great story. It really gave the vibe of what the night was going to be for Monday night. I enjoyed it a lot.
That's right, Angel. And the speculation of Randy Orton in that match and him trying to be a heel will probably push him over with that.
I think there was a couple parts during the match that he was kind of like tweeting a little bit, like if he was going to turn heel, if he wasn't going to turn heel. There was one point towards the end where Cody kind of got over where Cody could have got the W before Orton hit the RKO. It was really facing it up, really overdoing it, which kind of gives a sign of a heel turn. There is rumors that he is supposed to jump for the Shield. So let's see, who knows what can happen.
The Shield is very powerful, and with Randy Orton on the team, it would be completely unstoppable.
Oh, absolutely.
Another match I have here is Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler. Again, a tremendous match.
Oh man, that match was phenomenal. You had two great superstars, two guys that are carrying the business. Ziggler, Kofi, they always had great matches, championship versus championship. Ziggler going over, AJ getting involved again in that match. Phenomenal match. And before we go anymore, good friend Kofi Kingston just had a kid. Congratulations. I know you're copying the icon. Mine's coming in June, but you know what? It's all good. Congratulations to you, bro. And just to let everybody know, he's got a special message on the officialwrestlingmuseum.com homepage. Check it out. Special message just for the fans. I love plugs.
I can tell.
Yeah, I get paid for each plug, so it's all good.
We get paid.
So, sign a better contract.
Tug of war challenge. Mark Henry with Tensai.
This tug of war challenge, people are like, what the heck is this all about? Kind of for a comic relief, it kind of helped the show break up from the great impact of the action they were doing. With Tensai being out there, he beat Tensai. Tensai kind of seemed like he held back. Then they had Brodus come out. Brodus kind of gave a little fight, still beat him. Sheamus came out. Sheamus was giving it to Mark Henry. Mark was kind of selling him more than Sheamus. Sheamus let him go, gave him the bro kick. I think it was funny, I think it was entertaining, it was well put together. What else do we have going on from Monday Night Raw?
Oh, one of my personal favorites, Ricardo Rodriguez versus Zeb Carter and Biggie Langston. That was very entertaining.
I think it was very entertaining. The winner of the match won the stipulation for their particular person that they walked down to the ring. As we know, Ricardo Rodriguez won, which means the one and only Alberto Rio. I think I took that one there. But he won the special stipulation because Ricardo won. He picked the ladder match, which kind of seems kind of odd because he could have picked a lot of other things. The ladder match, I think it's going to be good with him, Ziggler, and Jack Swagger at Elimination Chamber. I think it's going to be an interesting match, and that's the match he decided to pick.
Absolutely right, and the fact that he chose the ladder match, I think it seems fair for all three. He could have easily picked a match with him as a favorite, but
True.
It would be a very interesting match with all three of them with skill with the ladder and on the skill,
And I definitely think Ziggler's going to bring the higher level to the ladder, same as Alberto. Swagger, I'm not too sure with, but I know them two definitely will.
Right. I have a funny little match here, the dance-off. That, I don't know.
You know, I got to say though, the great comedy he tries. They had him on the mic trying to talk about dancing. The dude tries. You know, people get on him, but he tries. You know, he won it with Natalia, beat Fandango, and I believe Summer, which got signed from NXT. They brought her up, which is cool. It was pretty funny, entertaining, but just Khali anytime on the mic is absolutely entertaining.
And a big one here, I have Team Hell No and Cena versus The Shield. Again, The Shield, very unstoppable, very powerhouse team. They work together as a team, and with Cena and Team Hell No, they're two different teams. It's a team of two with an individual, with a WWE champion. So it's very hard for them to communicate with each other as The Shield would, being together for a while.
You know, you bring up a good point, you know, because you're standing outside the ring, you manage tag teams before you manage individuals. And especially when you have guys that have been in the business and they establish themselves as either a team or individual, it's kind of hard to do a three-man team going against an actual three-man team because that three-man team already thinks so way. But I think the match was very well put together. I enjoyed the match. I love the fact that they're pushing Shield over. You know, first, Cena, my hat's off to you for doing the Make-A-Wish. They brought 3 kids up on the stage. We have superstars of the night. Cena, you know, you can love him, hate him, whatever you want to say about him. He does great work with the kids, and you gotta be respectful for that. But I like the direction that the Shield's going in, and I like the fact that they're having him work with the Taker. You know, Undertaker's out there now. He worked Dean Ambrose on SmackDown last week. Phenomenal match. He actually worked him on a house show, a dark match, on Raw the week before. Went over great. So I think Taker helping these guys out is going to go places, especially because these guys are somebody they want to do a little test run with, and now they're going to keep it going and stuff. And that's something that's good. And, you know, they're getting one heck of a push, which kind of gets into our next little segment, a famous segment that we have. It's the push of the week. Each and every week we're going to pick a special individual from the present. Whoa, what are you guys doing? Well, you guys are just jumping along and doing whatever you guys want to do over there. Give me a second to talk over here, okay, guys? All right. Each and every week we're going to pick a special guy or female that deserves a push, that should get someplace in the business, that has, or somebody from the past. So this is your first week. You're popping your little cherry here. You're going to have fun with this. So who do you think should deserve to have a push?
Well, first and foremost, I think the guy who plays, or the gentleman who plays the music in the background for us, definitely should be fired.
I definitely think so too. I've been saying that for weeks, but yet nobody wants to listen.
No, they're not listening to the icon.
I know. I should kick him in the face.
A push of the week, I think, well deserved. Will probably a name we haven't heard in a while is Rey Mysterio, good old 619.
You know, I kind of agree with that. You know, every time Rey comes back and stuff, they kind of just leave him hanging. You know, he's a big-time star. They did the, you know, the giant killer gimmick with them. If they come back with him and they give him one more run, I think they really need to push him and give him that title run one more time and let him take it easy and stuff. The guy I'm going to pick this week is Kurt Hawkins. I think Kurt Hawkins is a phenomenal worker. They use him as a jobber. He puts everybody over great. Nothing against jobbers. Jobbers built wrestling for what it is today back in the 80s or 90s. But Kurt Hawkins has a lot to bring to the table, and I would not mind seeing Hawkins and Ryder back together. I mentioned a few weeks ago, say it again, put them over as a tag team. They got over before, they can get over again. We talk about this every week, you know, the items that we have for the museum, and there's some great figures that are coming out. Next week we're going to have a complete list of new figures. We just did this a couple of weeks ago. Some great figures. There's Shield figures coming out of a 2-pack. There's a single pack of Dean Ambrose. There's the Funkadactyls. There's a Trish Stratus. There's so many great figures. So we're going to talk about that next week. But here we have items on the table this week, special items that are in the museum that you're going to be able to see when you come to the museum. This week is all signed items. They are 1 of 1,000 title belts from Mattel. Some of them are from different series. Some of the Royal Rumble series, some of the Survivor series, some of Series 2, Series 4. These are when Mattel first came out. They're the first time live figures, and what they do is they give a commission belt. And these are 1 of 1,000. They are personally signed for the museum. On the table we have Yoshitatsu over here, donning the nice title belt. This is probably the only title belt he'll ever have. But Yoshitatsu, followed by Beth Phoenix. We also have Vladimir Kozlov, that name is definitely hard to say, followed by the world champion Dolph Ziggler, followed by Kane, CM Punk. Now some of these figures are already shown on the table, but we're doing a special tribute to the 1 of 1,000 this week, followed by Kelly Kelly, that signed Hugs and Kisses on it, which is pretty cool because she never really signs too much on her boxes or anything, but it's there. Cody Rhodes, without the paper bag, folks. But Cody Rhodes, we have Mark Henry. Then we also have Drew McIntyre that signs with Chosen on it. We have Mickie James, and then followed by Matt Hardy, which also Matt Hardy has also donated an armband to the Wrestling Museum that was given to us about maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and we're talking to him about getting some more items and stuff. So it's just pretty cool and stuff. What else is pretty cool is I like the fact that TNA is turning about pushing their knockouts. WWE's kind of holding back on that. TNA is starting to do that. TNA has a brand new knockout website, so check that out. It's a pretty cool site. You can get a lot of information about the workers, videos, diaries, pictures. They actually give you tons of pictures of the knockouts, which is pretty cool. It's not all the sexual pictures. It's actually in-ring pictures and poses that you can learn about. So that's cool. And WWE's kind of answering back with their show in July, Totally Divas on the E! Network, which I personally like because it's something behind the scenes. They have the Funkadactyls, Bella Twins, Natalia. Those are your 5 main ones. You're going to show them, you know, on the road, their personal life. So I think that's actually going to help the Diva division grow some. Definitely. Because you got the more inside look and everything like that. And WWE has been talking about going, you know, cutting back from the 3-hour Raw to the 2-hour Raw, saying that the road crew is kind of getting tired. I don't understand how the road crew is getting tired by doing an extra hour match, you know, worth of a show. I don't see how that balances anything out. They're already at the arena. But I don't think they're going to cut that out after Survivor Series, because now there's going to be a special free show to Raw, which is going to go on YouTube, which is starting soon, which kind of is, that's what they do for pay-per-views. Yeah. So you're basically running a pay-per-view every Monday, you're having a free show. What are you going to do on Sunday? You know what I mean? It's too balanced out. So I think that's where a lot of the confusion is starting to get and stuff. I think it's going to be pretty interesting with the free show. I kind of hope that it's just not like dilly-dally matches. They should have somebody decent. Hopefully the U.S. title doesn't change hands and stuff. But if anybody ever has anything that they'd like to say, or if you're bored after the show, because, well, the show was great and the show is now over, you can definitely follow us on Twitter. Okay, it's Wrestling_Museum, just drop the G. You can Facebook us, facebook.com/theofficialWrestlingMuseum. Friend us on that. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Wrestling Museum. You can get all the information. You can contact us, send us emails.